Learn about carbohydrates in more detail. The carbohydrate, sugars, starches, and fibers, is the main source of energy for the human body. It is also the fuel that we need so that every cell in our body works effectively and efficiently. 1 gram of carbohydrate is equal to 4 calories. In our homes, we have a carbohydrate choice, which can be compared to the choice we make when we decide which fuel to put in our cars. With carbohydrates, it's either simple or complex. When you eat food, your digestive system breaks down starches and sugars into glucose that is used to create usable, high-powered energy for your body. Fiber, however, is not broken down. It acts as the body's cleanser, and the soluble, water-absorbent fiber found in beans and many whole grains may help lower LDL, bad cholesterol, and blood pressure, and reduce the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and some cancers. Carbohydrates such as fibers and starches are known as complex, and carbohydrates such as sugars are known as simple. In their natural state, all carbohydrates are great. Nature blends the simple and complex and adds essential micronutrients for proper digestion and utilization of all the carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Carbohydrates are considered simple or complex based upon their chemical structure. Both types contain 4 calories per gram, and both are digested into the bloodstream as glucose, which is then used to fuel our bodies for normal daily activity and exercise. The main differences between simple and complex carbohydrates are explained below. Simple carbohydrates or simple sugars. The body breaks down and quickly absorbs these foods. This process causes a spike in insulin, and over time, this pattern can cause insulin resistance in some people. But most simple carbohydrates contain refined sugars and very few essential vitamins and minerals. Examples include table sugar, fruit juice, milk, yogurt, honey, molasses, maple syrup, and brown sugar. The real villain is in the food manufacturing industry, says Michael Van Straten, author of Super Energy Detox. He goes on to talk about the sugar in processed foods and how people become accustomed to the sugar trap in foods like desserts, juices and canned drinks, sugar-coated breakfast cereals, biscuits and sweets. He says that once you've acquired a sweet tooth, it is not long before every cup of tea or coffee needs 3 heaped spoons of sugar, and every unoccupied moment is filled with a biscuit, a piece of cake, or a Danish pastry. Complex carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates, however, take longer to digest and don't cause that spike in blood sugar, so insulin is therefore released in a more desirable, gradual manner, and is packed with fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Examples include vegetables, whole grain breads, oatmeal, legumes, brown rice, and whole wheat pasta. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that people who added whole grains such as whole oats and whole wheat bread to their diets lost more weight. Researcher Pauline Kobanjiri, SCD, and his colleagues at the Harvard School of Public Health studied 27,000 men aged between 40 and 75 years old and found that the more whole grains they ate, the more weight they lost while dieting. They said that fiber in the diet may fill people up faster than processed grains and perhaps help to regulate blood sugar levels. Moreover, because of their high fiber and water content, whole grain foods contain fewer calories gram for gram than does the same amount of corresponding refined grain food. Eating 40 grams of whole grains a day cuts middle-age weight gain by as much as 3.5 pounds. All it takes is about 1 cup of oatmeal or 3/4 cup of brown rice or several slices of brown bread each day. Simple carbohydrates and weight loss. As valid research and better information is being presented to the public, people are learning that simple carbohydrate consumption can drastically hinder anyone trying to maintain or lose weight. C.J. Siegel Isaacson, assistant professor at the Albert Einstein School of Medicine, completed a CCARB, Controlled Carbohydrate Assessment Registry Bank, study that examined the physical activity and health patterns of 1,300 people over a 3-year period. At the 1-year point in her study, results showed that individuals controlling carbohydrates, eating an adequate amount of protein, and increasing their intake of non-starchy, nutrient-dense vegetables have consistently maintained weight loss over the last 18 months. In addition, the CCARB study has shown in regression analysis that carbohydrate intake fiber intake, and frequency of workouts were strong predictors of weight change in the reported participants. Of the 34.5% of people in her study who have gained over 5 pounds in the last 18 months, simple carbohydrate consumption, such as added sugar, was the single biggest indicator of the weight gain. It seems clear that consuming adequate protein sources in addition to non-starchy vegetables like dark leafy greens and limiting carbohydrate intake can be a viable option for losing or maintaining weight as a long-term approach to eating.